Hey, it's Katie Moran, and here's your Heartfelt Lift. Today I'm here with,
Dr. ToCarra Jordan.
tell me a little bit about your background.
Okay, great. So most people affectionately call me Dr. J, so feel free to use that. But for me, I am the CEO and founder of Her Divine Connection. And Her Divine Connection is about empowering women and girls of color to redefine their destinies through mindset and accountability coaching, and really unlocking the keys to overcoming insecurities and life challenges and achieving self-discovery and understanding their calling and purpose in life. So it's really tackling a very niche area, but it's also looking at a holistic point or approach to who you are as a person and many of the things that may be impeding your ability to be successful and to thrive and to have community with like-minded people and women that can help you along your journey.
This is such important work, and I love that it's coming from a holistic approach because I think when we see specifically women's rights and people of color's rights being denied and even bypassed and the trauma of it being spiritually bypassed, I love how you're connecting the divine with this holistic approach for women of color. And I think that is so important. But I really want to get into this idea of holistic wellness and have people get a lot of value from just this conversation and that they can then in turn see how much value is waiting for them on the other side of. I think the wait list is going to be in the show notes, so look at the description. And when this opens up, it's going to be such a treat for everyone who's looking for ways to improve their life and to dive deeper into this. What exactly do you think is the most important part of holistic well-being? And how do you think you've learned that in your own life?
Yeah, so I think I have to relate back to even my why for
Mm,
doing this. And
mm,
so her divine connection, it actually was called something completely different. It was about resources and connecting people to those resources and the support that they need. But I kept sitting with it and I'm like, no, it's the spiritual aspect is your life in terms of your mental health, your emotional health, your financial health. Is all of these different things because when you think about mindset and accountability coaching, a lot of the things that we struggle with, it starts in the mind. How we
mhm,
feel about ourselves, what we think that other people feel about us, and just our environments that we may have grown up in, traumas that we may have gone through, and things that we may not have healed from. And so
mhm,
for me, it was about taking who I am as a coach, an educator, and a motivational speaker, and providing the resources and my gifts and pouring into those in my community. So, not just from a one on one coaching standpoint, but also building a space where is going to be titled Her Unity, and it's really about empowering women through divine connections. And so, for that space, it's really connecting women of color worldwide to build
mm,
networks of support that
mhm,
embraces unity, inspiration, transformation, and faith, yielding growth that changes narratives, unleashes potential, and embraces purpose. So it's
mhm,
taking that holistic approach to healing and to wellness by pouring into the community, not just from the things that I've experienced in my own life, like the insecurities that I've had to overcome, the life challenges, the things that I dealt with as a child that I didn't realize impacted me as an adult
mm,
until I really started to sit with it and with my own therapist and
mhm,
my community. Like, wait, I really didn't heal from that, or that may be a real issue that I'm struggling with that I must have buried very deeply, but now I'm getting to the root cause of it. And so then there's this beautiful community that is actually being birthed out of the things that I've had to overcome, the things that my clients have had to overcome, and just people in my community who've shared with me their struggles that relates to, again, a lot of the insecurity, the imposter syndrome, feeling like they are the outsider within, that they're overlooked, that they're dismissed, they're devalued, all the things that it just feels so negative. So it's about turning those things around and using the community so that way you can have a more optimistic mindset about yourself and your life, and really understanding as far as connecting the dots between your calling and your purpose in life, but that self-discovery, being your
Mhm.
authentic self, being bold about who you are, being unapologetic about who you are and all that you desire in life, but having a tribe, having a community that's going to challenge you, that's going to support you, that's going to educate you and provide you with the tools and resources and the support that you need to move forward in your life and do whatever it is that you desire to do, because that's important. And so many people, they don't have the network of support. They don't have people who are going to come alongside them in their journey and say, no, keep going. You got this. Don't get discouraged by what you see right now happening in your life. It'll get better. Here are some strategies for success. Here are some things that you can do, and then allowing them to move forward, but taking your community with you because they're going to continue to do this to you as you grow.
Mhm. That is so powerful. And I think for anyone who's growing, having a community behind you and beside you is the only way it's sustainable. And I love the African proverb, you can go, do you know this one? You can go, you can go fast by yourself, but far together.
Yes.
And I think that is so important because when we look at community,
Mhm.
I think there's a culture of oppression and exploitation, specifically that has a societal narrative around go fast. And that's important and that's what matters. And you have to individualism and you have to do it alone. And that is not the holistic way to heal. And when you subscribe to that, you actually are separating yourself from those around you who can help you heal and your impact on other people that you can heal collectively together and flourish. So I'd love to hear what mindset work is so important from going to just surviving to thriving.
So I think a lot of times we have to start with where we are, and it really goes back to the healing piece and the things that we may have gone through, whether it's childhood traumas, whether you've had different traumas where maybe it's rape or different things that have happened in your life, or maybe you've been the person that everybody around you has told you that you'll never amount to anything, that you'll never make it, that you'll never be successful. They've spoken such negative words to you and over your life, and you've been fighting your way through, and all you can hear is everything, all of the chaos and the noise that's going on around you, and you're still trying to figure out, how can I thrive? How can I be successful? How can I move forward when everything is and everyone is telling me that I can't? And so it's really
Mm,
focusing on you. Are there things in your life that you may have buried deeply that you haven't even subconsciously thought about? Or maybe there's things that you've thought about, but you're not sure how to heal from, how to tackle those things head on to help you be successful. So it's really thinking about your story, thinking about who you are, all of the things that you have gone through in your life, all the experiences that you've had. For me, also being a qualitative researcher, that's a big part of qualitative research, is
mm,
understanding the lived experiences of individuals, but also how are we telling that story through their lens? How are we making it make sense to other people, the things that you have actually gone through, and then a lot of times telling your story, sharing it with your community, sharing it with other people helps you to heal. It helps you to really say aloud, these are the things that I've gone through, but I'm moving forward in my life, and healing is not one day type of activity. It's something that is
mm,
ongoing. And we have to invest in that in ourselves so that we can continue to move forward. But you have to have the mindset that you're going to do it for you first and foremost, not mom, dad, cousin, brother, whomever, but you first and foremost, because you have to be able to pour into other people. And you really can't pour from an empty cup or a cup that seems a bit tainted, because you're dealing with all the negativity that you're still burying deeply or still carrying with you and thinking that this is all that life is going to be. No. So it's really starting with you and really unpacking your story and then making up in your mind, because no one can do it for you, but making up in your mind that you're going to invest in yourself and that you're going to have a better life. Dream again. Start thinking about the things that you want and allowing yourself to be able to envision you walking in those dreams, walking in that purpose and fulfilling your life's goals and dreams and everything that you desire to be who you desire to be or who you're striving to be.
Mhm. I think the key word here is healing, because when you do that work, that heals you as an individual. And I don't think it's possible to heal as an individual without making an impact on the world. And I am just so excited to see you bring people together and to see the impact that each life you touch has. And I think that is so beautiful. And at the end of the day, I think that's really the most important part about community is
Mhm.
the interwoven impact that everyone can have together.
Yeah, it's not just about me, it's not just about one other person. It's about us as a collective, as a unit, being able to heal one another, being able to pour into each other, being able to share our vulnerabilities, and having a safe space where you're able to come in and say, "This is what I'm dealing with," and not feeling that someone in the space is going to judge you or they're going to talk down to you or treat you differently
Mhm.
because you shared that you experienced this thing. Because a lot of times, when you're the person that takes that step to say, "This is what I have been dealing with," or "This is what I had to overcome," there's 9 times out of 10 somebody else in the room that's dealing with the same thing or something similar to what you've actually gone through and grown through, or what you're in the middle of right now. Maybe they've already overcome that thing and they can help you in your journey. So you just never know what ears are listening, what hearts are opening as you're speaking. But I think the other piece for this community is, and I've been in different spaces, but I desire this again to be a safe space that is packed with the tools and resources and the strategies that you need to be successful, to heal, to thrive, to move forward in your life, and to develop or cultivate those healthy relationships, because that's another piece. Sometimes we don't know how to do that. So teaching people how to
Mhm.
do that as well, especially if you've been hurt in the past. Let's learn how to cultivate healthy relationships, but it's more so about the quality. And I think as a society, sometimes we sacrifice quality for quantity. We
Mhm.
want to make sure we have a lot of followers, we have a lot of people, we have a lot of money, we have different things, but we forget the quality piece. And so for this community is near and dear to my heart because it's really thinking about the quality. It's thinking about how I can make a difference and really impact lives. And it's about transformation. And so people will
Mhm.
always see me use butterflies because I equate that to beauty. Because when you're going through the caterpillar phase, everything is ugly, it's gritty, it's nasty. It's like, I don't want to deal with that. But before you can become the butterfly, before you can truly grow and blossom into who you desire to be, you're going to go through that phase. You're going to go through hardships and different things, but you still can become the beautiful butterfly.
You said it wasn't about you, but I do want to just give you credit that if you didn't do the work yourself first, you wouldn't be able to facilitate in other people. And you are going to be creating butterflies because you were the butterfly first.
Oh, thank you.
Of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.